So one thing you could check for yourself, look, square root of 9 times square root of 4. That's the same thing as the square root of 36, right? You can multiply inside the square roots. 9 times 4 makes 36. Square root of 36 is 6. Or you could simplify before you do the square rooting. Either way, it makes sense. So you can multiply inside the square roots, which means we could do the reverse. We could break this up into separate square roots. Okay, so we can make this square root of 81 times the square root of x to the third times the square root of y to the eighth. Now, a square root means a 1/2 power. Actually, let's do this first. Square root of 81, that means a number that multiplies to itself to make 81. So that's 9. A square root means a 1/2 power. Okay, so one thing we want to look out for is we want to rewrite this as something with an even power. Look, this is the same as this, right? Because x to the second times x to the first, the powers add up to make x to the third. Because then when you apply the power property that we studied in a previous question, previous topic in Newton, 1/2 times 8 makes y to the fourth. The square root's gone, okay? So think of square roots as 1/2 powers because now you have a power on top of a power. 1/2 times 2 is going to make x to the first. I don't know how Newton wants you to write it. I think this is probably fine, this order. But you want to rewrite it in terms of even powers. That way you can make things cancel out. So we just said square root times a square root. Those can multiply inside their own square root. Same thing with division, okay? Square root of 12 divided by square root of 3. 12 divided by 3 makes square root of 4 in the top part of my fraction. 12 divided by 3 made 4. And now when you're dividing things with the same base, like with x as the base here, the power subtracts. So x to the 30th divided by x to the second, the power subtract to make x to the 28th. This is still all underneath the square root. And then same thing here, y to the 23rd divided by y to the 13th, the power subtract that makes y to the 10th. And actually everything's gone from the bottom. 12 divided by 3 made this disappear. We combine the x's, combine the y's, so we don't need this fraction anymore. Now we can do just what we did in the other problem. Think of the square root of each of those terms. X to the 28th to the 1/2 power makes x to the 14th. Y to the 10th to the 1/2 power, that makes y to the 5th. So there's our answer.